What is the biggest lie we have believed about health? It is that our health is written in the DNA. Do you still believe that? You may carry genes for diabetes, for heart disease, for hypertension, but 2026 science is clear. Your environment often shapes your health far much more than your genetics. Do you believe this? It is where you live, it is what you eat, it is how you sleep, it is the stress you carry, and it is the air that you breathe. This is not bad news. It is powerful news. Because environment can change. Stay with me. This might completely deframe your future. So, I am Dr. Joshua Deritu, a family physician. I have interest in public health and cancer prevention and treatment. We do not promote fatalism here, but we promote clarity and action, consistent execution. We will be able to unpack the latest evidence which says that your environment has a bigger impact on your health than your genes. Stay with me and see as you enjoy better health by changing your environment. The myth of genetic destiny. We all have had it. High blood pressure runs in my family. Diabetes is genetics. Cancer is in our blood. Genetics matter. Absolutely. We agree with it. But this is the truth. The key statistics here are massive 2025-2026 analysis, nearly analyzing more than 500,000 people, found that lifetime environmental exposures explained allowed 17% variation of their mortality risk. Genetics scored only 2%. Let that sink in. That 17% of your health risk is determined by the environment that you live in. Only 2% is determined by your genetics. And that's why they say genetics rules the gun, but it is your lifestyle, it is your environment that pulls the trigger. Environment dominates the expression. Here is the line that you need to remember. Genes may load the gun, but your environment is what will pull the trigger. And that means you have leverage. What does that mean? That it doesn't matter how much of the genes that you have, but it is what you do on a daily basis that has an impact on your health. That's very empowering. Environment is not just about pollution. It includes, 1, your diet quality, your physical activity, how you sleep, how you manage your stress, how much smoking you do, how much alcohol you take, the air quality that you breathe, and the socio-economic conditions that you live in, the social connections that you have established, and the neighborhood that you design. The World Health Organization calls this the social determinants of health. Your postcode can predict your life expectancy accurately than your DNA. In busy cities like Nairobi, the traffic stress, the air pollution, the access to fresh food, the access to safe walking spaces, all shape the biological outcomes. And many of these can be changed. Yes, they can be changed. We need to be committed to make our environment and our lifestyle better. The epigenetics. How your environment talks to your genes. This is where science gets fascinating. Your DNA sequence does not change, but the gene expression does. That is what epigenetics is. Environments send signals that can turn genes on, turn genes off, amplify inflammatory pathways. If you want to know how, check some of my videos in the Overall Health YouTube channel, and even improve your insulin signaling. Chronic stress can activate inflammatory gene expression. Exercise improves metabolic gene signaling. Nutrition alters the cellular pathways. Think of it this way. Your genes are like the piano keys. Your environment is what plays the music. Same keys, but different song. Yes, that is the reality. Let's look at some of the diseases and see how the genes and the environment interact. The heart disease. You have the genetic predisposition. But then, if you are a smoker, your diet is poor, you live a sedentary lifestyle, you have chronic stress affecting you, these massively affect atherosclerosis. This is determined by those lifestyle habits: smoking, poor diet, inactivity, and chronic stress. So, it is often beyond the genetic baseline. So, lifestyle interventions reduce the cardiovascular risk even higher than the genetic risk individuals. So, environment dominates here. So, if you have a genetic risk of getting a heart attack, yes, you have had your parents, they have had heart attacks, yes, you have a risk. But if you're exercising, you are eating healthy, you reduce your risk of getting a heart attack significantly. Let's look at type 2 diabetes. There is genetic susceptibility. But insulin resistance, as we have seen in some of my previous presentations in the Overall Health YouTube channel, it is the visceral fat. It is the refined carbohydrates overload. It is the sedentary living. It is the sleep deprivation. Weight loss and resistance training can dramatically improve metabolic markers and even reduce and reverse early disease. Genetics does not override behavior. Longevity and twin studies. Identical twins share the same DNA. We all agree. They share the same genetic, the same genes. Yet their outcomes often diverge significantly over time. What makes this difference? The diet, the lifestyle, the stress levels, and the different environment. Same individual, same genetic makeup, but living in different environment, practicing different things. Same gene, different lives, different outcomes, different diseases. Heritability matters, but the environment remains powerful. The exposome, your lifetime exposure story. Science have now termed the term exposome, which means the total lifetime environmental exposures. The food, the chemicals, the air quality, and even the stress. The built environment, the social structure. Your biology is constantly interacting with the exposome, and this accumulates, but so does the protection. Healthy habits compound, just like money. If you save slowly, with time it builds and compounds. If you build healthy behaviors slowly but consistently, the impact is also exponential and compounding. So does the harm. You eat poorly, progressively your health deteriorates. It is not a one-time thing. So here is the good news about all this. If the environment shapes much of the chronic disease risk, what does this mean to you? You are not powerless. You can improve your diet, you can increase your movement, you can protect your sleep, you can avoid tobacco, you can build a community, we can build safer cities, we can make the environment healthy. So advocate for cleaner environments. As small improvements repeated daily, they compound massively. Genetics sets the baseline. Environment sets the trajectory. So your DNA is not your destiny. It is your starting point. Your environment. We are talking about your habits, your surroundings, your exposure writes the story. If this gave you hope instead of fear, comment, not my genes. Like, subscribe, and share the community wellness channel for those tips to live a healthy life and to make your environment more healthy for you and for those who live with you. Let's move from fatalism to action. May God give you good health and peace of mind. Thank you for watching. Tuendelee.